So one of the things you've heard me talk about, and you're going to hear me talk about consistently, is the fact that if we want to change our results, it always starts with our thinking. Thinking is where it starts. I've got an incredible tool that's become a staple in my life, absolutely a game changer in my entire life. And I have client after client after hundreds and thousands of people who have used this tool that swear by it. So I feel like I've got the secret that I haven't told you. Again, you probably know about it, but you may not be knowing it unless you're doing it. I find most people know about this and aren't doing it. So I want you to lean in on this. Arguably, I'd say at a level of expertise, there are very few people on the planet that know about affirmations as well as I do. I'm going to convey to you that there's a right and wrong way to do them, and I'm going to give you the right way. I'm going to give you the success formula around how to start changing our thinking, and it's through affirmations. So to freshen up on some of our thoughts, some of you don't know what they are, some of you are highly educated what affirmations are. Affirmations are a way of writing down a way of thinking and that we're going to review on a repetitive basis. So some of my clients review their affirmations every single day. That's what I suggest. Some do it 2-3 times a day for periods of time. An affirmation is writing down something that we're either striving for or that we want to shift, and we're going to write them down as if it's already happened. It's going to be past tense as if it's already happening in our lives. Let me give an example. Let's say, and I'm not going to, let's just assume somebody out there wants to generate $1 million a year. If that's exciting to you, great. If it's not, don't get hung up on it. But if someone wants to generate $1 million a year, an affirmation wouldn't be, I'd like to generate $1 million a year. You see how that's kind of asking the universe for that? What we would do is say, I'm generating, as if it's already happened. Past tense, I'm generating $1 million a year. That's a good example, small, crude example of an affirmation. So here's what I'll tell you about affirmations. They completely transform the way we think. It matters. And when we make that impression on our thoughts, it starts changing the way we feel. That starts changing the type of actions we take, and then it changes our results. Again, this is the way of a big thinker. So let me give you what we're going to call the affirmation assignment this week. This is an amazing experience. Let's call it an experiment for you. So what I'm going to recommend is that you find a blank sheet of paper. Handwrite this. There's a different connection. They've done studies on whether people handwrite something or type something. When we handwrite something, it has a different connection to our thoughts. So I'm going to ask you to handwrite this. At the top of the page, I'd like you to write down the next 30 days, whatever the month is. Let's say it's the month of July. You write down the month of July, or you write down the month of May, whatever month it is that you're watching this in. And for the next 30 days, you're going to study these affirmations. Make that commitment to yourself. Then I'm going to have you write 10 affirmations, not 9, not 12, and it's unreal. I'll share with people this information. I'll come back and see a list of 20. Don't do that. Stay on track. Write 10. The key to them is to be very brief. These aren't paragraph formats. They're one-liners, something very simple that you could recite easily and with speed. So you're going to write down 10 affirmations. I think they could include 4 areas of your life. They could include finances, which is also your workplace. They could include your relationships. They could include your health and wellness. They could include your celebration of time and money freedom, the rewards in your life, like generating $1 million a year would be an example of that. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just to take some real carved out time, quiet time I call it. No distractions, no television in the background, turn off your cell phone, turn off any music, get silent, and write out some affirmations that are powerful to you. Write those affirmations out. We're going to give you some examples of this, so don't get so caught up in, well, what should I write? We're going to give you some examples to make it easy for you. And we're going to map this all out in our action steps follow-up. But for now, you're going to write 10 of them. At the top right corner of your page, I'd like you to date your page. What's today's date? And every 30 days, I'm going to challenge you to write new affirmations. I literally take mine down, turn it over, I don't look at it again, and tap into the creativity of what the new affirmation is. So we're going to ask that you do that every month. So this is a 6-week program. So it doesn't mean you just want to develop yourself for 6 weeks. The Affirmation Project, you can do all year long. That means you'd have 12 different sets of affirmations. Why do we redo them every month? For 3 reasons. One is because you're going to be evolving. The things that are important to you today, 4 months from now, you have either accomplished or they're not important to you anymore. So you write a new set of priorities. Number 2, because our eyes get connected with certain things over time, it's possible that you might neglect what you're really even reading. We get too used to things. So it's nice to mix it up. And number 3 is successful people are always tapping in to their creative side. It forces us to think a little bit, and that's powerful. So you're going to write these 10 affirmations. You're going to date it at the top. You're going to write it for the month that you're in. And at the very bottom, once you've written them out, I want you to sign your signature. There's something very powerful. It's almost like endorsing that I've agreed to this with me and the universe. Here it is. This is what I'm asking for. And you sign it. Now there's a next step to this. The next step is how you're going to review it every day. I recommend reviewing it every day. Now, I'm going to give you some thoughts here, but I'm not giving them casually. Usually when I share something with you, I'm telling you this is how I would recommend doing it. Remember, I'm a coach. I can be soft on you and have you do it any way you want, or I can help you on the path to success. I want you to get the result. So hear me out on this. Write it out and make a photocopy of it. The photocopy of it, I'm going to suggest you put up in your shower. And the reason the photocopy is because the handwritten one, if water hits your handwriting, it'll bleed. If water drips on the printed one, no ink goes anywhere. At least not in my shower. So what I'm going to suggest is put one copy in your shower, the printed copy. The other copy I want you to carry with you at all times. If you go away for the weekend camping, take it with you. If you're going to go on a trip, take it with you. I have mine with me when I used to be in the workforce. Take it with me. I could review it at lunch, for example. The other copy, the printed copy, is up in your shower. Chris, I don't want to put it up in my shower. What if somebody sees it? Oh my God. If that's your paradigm, I'm going to challenge you. Big deal. Who cares if your wife sees it? Who cares if your husband sees it? It doesn't matter. It's your goals. Well, could I put it on my mirror next to my vanity? You can, but here's the challenge. The only reason you stand in front of your mirror is because you're doing something. You're either putting, if you're, a man or a woman nowadays, I don't know, but if you're putting makeup on, you're putting makeup on. You can't focus and read something while you're putting makeup on. For most men, you're shaving while you're in front of them. You're not going to be reading and shaving at the same time. But here's a simple, easy way. You can be showering and reading at the same time. You can be washing your hair, washing your body, and it's right in front of you. And it's at eyesight. I tape it to my shower. I've done this for years. It's transformative. It will change your life. So don't underestimate small things. Small things matter when it comes to our thinking habits. Remember, small things over a long period of time add up to big things. So I'm going to recommend you read it every day. The last caveat to this is that you do an exercise of discipline called going from your head to your heart. There's a part of us that can read something. I don't know if you've ever done this. Quite frankly, with ADD, kind of that type of personality, it's even easy for me sometimes to read a page of a book and go, oh my God, what did I just read? And I got to go back and read it again. So what I'm going to suggest is that you don't read this with your mind. It'll get too cumbersome. It won't have an effect. I challenge myself on a daily basis when I read my affirmations. I call it going from my head to my heart. Connect with it here, not here. It's not uncommon. You're going to experience, especially as a new habit, you'll read through and get to number 6 and go, I have no idea what I just read. That's a wake-up call. Stop yourself, go right back to the top. Go from my head to my heart and read and feel those emotionally. Connect with those, what you've written emotionally. You read through them again. It takes about 5-10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the most. And I promise you do that for a month, you're going to reach out to me via email and say, Chris, you ain't going to believe this. And we're going to talk about some amazing results that happen. Have a great experience. Enjoy this affirmation exercise, this experiment, if you will. And I look forward to hearing how that's affecting you after you've done it for at least a month.